Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Birthright content for you here as we wrap up our third character profile for the Birthright expansion here with just a closer look at Erik Danig, who I think we covered Danig in like the actual very first video for the whole series. So jumping in here, he's a very high level wizard, especially for this setting. So 11th level, very just baller stats as well. When your lowest stat is a 12, that's not terrible. So 15, 12, 16, 18, 14, 15. So he's up there. He's lawful neutral. Hit points probably need to be adjusted more for 5th edition if you're going to run the game in 5th. That is definitely pretty low. Back in the day, we only had a D4 for wizards. Thako, we can ignore. Damage, again, might need to buff him up a little bit, but that's more like close combat. Insanely big bloodline here at 54. Got Bloodmark, character reading, and travel. Some really good magic equipment, though feel free to, again, buff that up a little bit to more correspond to someone of his level and being a ruler of a nation. So the wizard's staff of Danigau acts as a ring of spell storing and bestows 10% magic resistance to him. He's got bracers of defense of armor class 2. And then Ring of the Kraken acts as a ring of protection plus 2 and a ring of swimming. So basically super high AC, especially for a wizard. He's got the Spellbook of the Danigs, contains basically most known wizard spells, both conventional and realm, along with battle spells. So if you ever engage him in outright battle, he's basically got access to everything. So the current count of Danigau comes from an unbroken line of Danigs that can be traced to past the Battle of Mount Deismar. Wolf Danig was a hero of that battle, to the first wave of settlers in the Great Bay region. Even the royal house of Muden cannot boast as clear and unbroken a lineage. Tradition lies close to the heart of the current count. His bearing and demeanor broadcast his nobility as he takes his role as the head of the royal house seriously. He studied war magic when he should have preferred going to war alongside his younger siblings, and he maintained a secure and safe realm when he longed to lead a foray into Urgazai. Many who don't know the Count suppose he is a martinet or an unbending military leader. In fact, he prizes the noble arts of civilization. Blackgate, the capital city, maintains some of the most beautiful artistic treasures in Birthright. He does, however, let his contempt for base or noble acts show through, much to the distress of would-be courtiers. He's got no patience for sycophants and can't seem to hide his distaste for representatives of realms that don't live up to his exacting standards of nobility. The Countess, Catherine, tries to temper that behavior a little bit with only a little bit of success. But so basically, he's a very straight shooter, no nonsense type of ruler. So definitely something to learn about. Should you need to court him as far as building an alliance, or if you're adventuring in the realm and you get tasked with something, so he's going to have some very high standards for you. So the domain itself, he rules not only the law and provinces in his realm, he controls the sources within his borders absolutely, so no interference. He may have some ley lines extended all the way into Kurin Azur, Kvigmar, and Wirich. He definitely maintains lines into the nearest Urgazai provinces. Now, Danig is one of the safest realms around the Great Bay, so despite minor encroachment by the White Hand of Kristal Temple, little has threatened this realm in decades. All the Danig rulers study magic to some degree, and their battle magics and realm spells are used to remind would-be invaders of the price they pay if they would attack the realm. However, Danigau is not a comfortable realm. Blackgate, the walled dark city of the north, stands like a fortress in a war zone. All the Count's holdings are fortified, and he prizes defense over everything. So while he permits the import of luxuries by his guildmasters, he often discourages such excesses by heavy taxation. So again, he gets these contrasts here. So there's so many, Anshe that we've covered as part of the Birthright expansion, and other just realms that we haven't seen yet from other territories that are all problematic, and of course the Gorgon in that part of the world as well. So we have that, but then a lot of these realms are torn apart by civil war and things like that. So his is again like kind of one of the best, most stable, certainly. But then again, it's not like it's not like a realm where you can just kind of kick back and have it easy. So I mean that all comes at the cost of, again, sort of having a ruler as stern as him in that sense. Like everything's got fortifications. There's no he's not going to tolerate any like internal squabbling, things like that. So again, it's a very, very serious ruler with sort of a no-nonsense attitude. So definitely something that characters should pick up on should they find themselves in Danigao, and especially when trying to interact with him as a ruler, whether it's as another king or prince or something like that, or just adventuring and maybe being tasked with something in for the sake of the realm. So now that being said, having someone like if you live up to his standards and having him as an ally, certainly not a bad deal given his super high level and just the sheer magical might that he can wield. So, so very important there. Some adventuring hooks certainly could be things like, they mentioned the Urgazai at several times, which I think actually gets covered in the Rearic expansion. So, maybe there's more frequent incursions there, and maybe he's tasked you with investigating there and maybe doing some wet work, but also maybe finding a way where he could extend his ley lines. If we were to trust you with that, and maybe just dealing with other maybe magical interlopers, things like that. So, but also just dealing with some of the neighbors sometimes too, and the other evils, non-humans, etc., other problems that happen in and around the Brecht area. That certainly could be something to bring in there. So, an interesting character, certainly very powerful. A couple things to just tweak, I'd say, for 5th edition as far as like the hit point pool for him, certainly. And then he's got a really good set of magic items, but maybe even throwing in a few more things as you feel necessary. So a really cool character. Let us know your thoughts, guys. If you've adventured in Danigao again, if you've interacted with Erik Danig, how'd you present him as a DM, and how did your characters encounter him and stuff like that. Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll have more for you soon.